If you're looking to have a stronger, more resilient, robust spine, this video today, I'm gonna go through exactly what I would recommend to patients in order to get the strongest spine possible so they become more resilient, do everything that they want to do without the risk of hurting themselves. I'm Dr. Matthew Posa. Welcome to my page. My page is dedicated to people and family with health tips and tricks so you can live the life you were designed to live. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this information with the people we know need it the most. There are only 4 exercises that are gonna make a dramatic change in your life. And the number one thing that we have to look at is, especially when you're looking at the spine, is you gotta think there's a lot of little muscles, the multifidi, that are guiding every little joint. And then you have more segmental muscles that are more local to the area. And then you have the muscles that span the entire spine. And so what we need to do is we need exercises that are addressing all 3 of those categories. So that way, if you're under chiropractic care and you're making sure that your spine is becoming healthier, that you're moving your spine, you're getting the mobility back. Well, now when you start working on the muscles, what you're doing is you're strengthening the system so that way it does become more resilient. It holds your adjustments and those corrections that you're making, and then that way you're gonna create a longer lasting effect. The first exercise we're gonna do is the tabletop isometric holds. So what you're gonna do, get yourself on a nice flat surface. You're gonna bring yourself back. And what you wanna do here is when your pelvis is flat on the floor, you wanna push your spine down into the floor. So you wanna push it all the way in. So you're, through your belly button, you're pushing it down. So you're curling, think of it like curling your hip, and you're pushing down. Now this is where you wanna engage your core. So you're gonna be holding it. A good way to think of it is if I were to push down on your belly, that there's that resistance. So you're just holding that, but you're still breathing. You can still breathe in and out, in and out. And then what you wanna do is one leg at a time. So I'm gonna bring this one. So again, my spine isn't moving. I'm bringing this up. I'm still breathing, but I'm holding my core in, and then I'll bring the other one up. And you just keep breathing in and out, keeping your spine flat against the floor. You're holding this for 5 to 10 seconds. And then when you're done, bring one leg down at a time, nice and slowly, keeping your core engaged. And then you're gonna let go. When you let go, try not to let go too much of your low back. You wanna still keep your core engaged, it's just now your legs aren't up. This next exercise that you're gonna do is you're gonna be your bridge. So this is a basic bridge, and it shouldn't cause too much problems, especially if you're even still lacking mobility. But what you wanna do is have your shoulders back and flat against. Your neck, your head are protected. Your feet are gonna be shoulder width apart, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna be pushing your heels down into the ground as you lift your bum off the ground, and you're creating this bridge. This bridge position, you're gonna hold this for 5 to 10 seconds, breathing in, squeezing your core, making sure your core stays nice and strong, and then you're slowly gonna be bringing yourself down, and then you're gonna repeating this 10 times. So I would do it with breath. So the best thing to do would be to breathe in, breathing out at the top, breathing in, and then holding this and breathing out. You're squeezing your core, you're squeezing your bum, and then you're gonna breathe out, letting it go down. So you would just keep breathing through the motion. The point being is at the top, you're gonna hold that for that 5 to 10 seconds, and you're repeating that exercise 10 times. The next exercise after that is gonna be for your core again, but now we're coordinating your core a little bit more. And this is gonna help create strength within the transversus abdominis, which is the one that braces your spine. So this is a really good one. What you're gonna do is lay on your back, and this one's gonna take some coordination. So in order to get this right, just like when we did the isometric, you're gonna hold your spine flat. So you're pushing it down into the ground, you're engaging your core. The first step that you're gonna do is bring both your legs up. This is your isometric start. Now your arms are coming up. So this is hence the dead bug. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do the opposite. So if I do my left hand
I'm gonna bring it back while I bring my right leg down. So it'll look like this. It'll be breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, opposites. So you would do that, and that would be 10 per side. So this is one that's gonna really push you a little bit more. You're keeping your core engaged. What you need to look out for is, obviously if you got shoulder problems, you're not able to come all the way back, well then don't worry about bringing it all the way back. What I don't want to see is the ribs flare. So when you bring back, let's say, an arm and you come back, the last thing you want is for this flaring to start happening. What you want to do is keep it nice and tight, which means your core is engaged. The other thing that you also want to look out for, and just really do pay attention to this, is that your pelvis stays flat. So if I bring one leg down and your pelvis feels like it needs to rock or fall into it, as you're doing that, well then you haven't engaged your pelvis or you haven't engaged your core. So what you need to do is make sure that everything stays flat. When you're moving back, nothing is moving except for your arm and your legs. Everything else is rock solid.
And now for our last exercise, which is the bird dog. And this is one that has a lot of research to it. It is shown to dramatically make huge changes in your spine and your strength and coordination all throughout the back, from the top to the bottom. So this is the one that you're gonna wanna focus on. And we're gonna do this on the table, but I would do this on the ground because you'll create a bit more stability. But let's go through it. So you're gonna go on all fours. When you go on all fours, you want your knees to be shoulder width apart. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. They aren't in front, they aren't behind. So you want them nice and on top. You want your back flat. Don't round it this way, and definitely don't go the opposite way. So you want it nice and flat. You don't want to be head down. You also don't want to be looking up. You want a slightly downwards straight gaze. So you're going to be holding this position. From this position, it's just like the dead bug, but the opposite, in the sense where you're lifting the opposite leg, but you're keeping your core nice and tight. So when you're doing this one, you want to lift one leg and then the opposite arm. So in this case, I'll do my right leg. So I'll start with my right leg like this. Now as I do that, then the other arm's going to come up, but you want to time that together. So it's going to be a straight up like this, breathing in, breathing out, and then switch to the other side. And then switch. And then keep going like that. The biggest thing with that one is a lot of people make the common mistake where as they bring one arm up, they'll dip in, they'll fall towards that side, or the opposite leg, and they start to move their bum over to the opposite side to try and create some stability. What you really want to be diligent on is that when you're holding this, your core is engaged, and then you're making sure nothing is moving. This is why I would stress doing this on the floor. Even on this table here, pieces moving and all that stuff, it's actually quite hard. But what you want to do is you're maintaining that good, straight, even posture. You're not moving, you're not flexing, you're keeping everything nice and tight. And with that one, you want to repeat that 10 times per side. So again, you're doing quite a bit of exercise there. If you could build yourself up with both the dead bug and this one, you can do 5 each side and then do that 3 different times. That will help start to build it up. But really you want to get to the point where you're doing 10 on each side. You're really building that strength. And when you do that, and you do that with 3 different sets of that, you'll notice that within even a couple weeks, not only will your spine be super strong, but you're going to be noticing even things like lifting groceries, picking things up, picking up your kids, reaching for things. You're going to notice that you're going to have so much more stability that a lot of the pain will go away. If you got questions about this video or any other videos, leave them down in the comments below. If you're new to my page, welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, until next time, we'll talk to you soon.